first thing that parents learn when they come here is the damage of giving advice to somebody when that's not what you do and that's not your field of experience. Somebody calls you up and says, I have a leaky sewer and there's water coming out all over the place, and you're not a plumber, and you say, well, I think you should put Band-Aids around it, and I think you should this, then it's really reckless. But it's reckless about a sewer and a toilet. But when you give advice to somebody about how to deal with neshamas, and you don't have experience, and you cause damage, you push it or over so many isurim, and the whole reason you did it is because of one reason, that you can't keep your fat mouth shut. This is a machla that we have here consistently. I have parents coming to me with huge problems, huge, that everybody gives up on the kid is suicidal, the kid is cutting themselves. You pick the scenario, but the neighbor knows exactly what the parent should do. Dealing with a pikuach nefesh situation that I sit and spend hours on, and I dedicated 20 years of my life, but your brother-in-law knows, because they have a machla of can't keep your mouth shut, that you comment, and people do this on everything, that they don't even realize, I comment in shul, I comment to speak about people, I know this, all the big mouths, all the know-it-alls, and they don't even realize, hey, we're entering a serious discussion. I get calls all the time, and you here all can be made. You've all heard from me. I'm sorry, I don't know. Out of the realm of my experience. You heard it? Always. And it's pretty close even sometimes. I'm so makbid. And go ahead, ask me about anything else in the world. You will hear me say, I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't understand how everybody just knows what everyone else is supposed to do in anything. In anything. I sit around the pool. I go to a pool. I go to a bungalow colony. I go to shul. I go to, and I sit there and I'm like amazed because I don't know anything. And they know everything. They know how you should deal with this problem and this issue, and everybody has an opinion and they're sure of it. And you know what? It's pretty strange to me because I don't really know how they know, but it's pretty harmless. But then you talk about a pikuach nefesh situation. Your daughter is an echayla sheyesh by sakana. She took a knife and was throwing it at people. And you asked somebody who is not a professional, and they told you what to do? Hold on. And they gave you advice. They opened their mouth to tell you, I think this, I think that. You're talking about a chayla sheyesh by sakana. There's a family in Eretz Yisrael that had a kip, a boy. I've shown you the picture of this boy. Okay? A zizkite, a typical kip. Off the derech, very rebellious if you tell him what to do. Otherwise, all the guys on the street loved him. Sweetheart of a kid. And he could have come back and he could have had a great life. But he came to a simcha that he wanted to be at and he didn't dress properly. And somebody went over to him and said, Di belangs nicht du. You don't belong here. And 10 minutes later, he hung himself. People give advice to parents here all the time and on the street all the time. I sit here in groups sometimes with you tell me what your siblings say. And it's so easy to slug them up. All you say is, wow, that's a very interesting idea. Just before I implement this idea on my kid who is a chayla sheyesh by sakana, I'm just curious. Do you have any experience? Did you ever try this before? And you'll see, it's like, oh, so you just have a good feeling about this? You don't have any experience, you're not sure what to do, and you just think that if I stop giving him money, that he's going to become healthy. And you just think that if I lock the door at night, that why is it so hard for people to say, I love you, I'll daven for you, I don't know. It's a big problem. People don't even know how to solve small problems, and when it comes to this, opinions and condemning. People get condemned here. You say, I don't know what you want. I researched. It's the hardest mahalach. My das Torah is behind me. I'm doing everything carefully. I'm working on it 24/7. And you're condemning me. By the way, what's your idea? Who should I go to? We had a family here that somebody was bothering them in the family for coming to me because it's so extreme. So he told them, no problem. I need a number. Who should I go to? He couldn't come up with somebody else. Oh, so I should just let my kid die? Because you don't have somebody else? And you don't like the fact that I got a dog to try to save my kid's life? You think I like it? So I now have to worry about you thinking that I'm crazy when you don't have a better idea? So first of all, mamish, I don't know how to say this, and it has to stop. Not just about this. Everybody has to stop talking about things that they don't know anything about. Just stop. Just say, I don't know. Talking about the stock market, and this guy says this, and I think this, and politics. And so if you're into politics and you spend 100 hours a week watching politics, and you're really into it, and you have an opinion, and it's formulated, and you think about it, you say, listen, I've done research, and I feel this way, I could respect that. But if you have nothing to do with it, and you watched one commercial for Joe Biden, and you just think 10 minutes of Trump, and you like his hair or something, and you just decided stuff, like just say you don't know. Why is it so hard to say I don't know? La'olam yomad adam loimer eini yodea. Especially chinuch habanim. You're telling someone how to raise their kids, especially chinuch of children that it's not even chinuch, it's crisis. Chayla sheyesh bo sakana Hashem yirachim. Chachamim yizharu b'dvarechem. And tipshim should be even more careful. Don't be so open with your tipshim, with your advice. One of the biggest problems in the world are that the wise people are so slow and careful before they talk, and the dumb people are so quick and loud. And it happens all the time. You ever have a meeting in shul about a problem or a campaign, and 10 guys meet, and you'll see this guy's loud, and we should this, we should that. You'll notice there's one quiet person. He's the smart one. That's you? He's the smart one. He's going to be the one that when all your stupid ideas and full of air and stupidity, he's going to be the one who's thinking. He's listening and he's thinking. He's not afraid to say, I don't know. And he's not afraid to say, I think we should do this, and I'll stand behind it. Bottom line is, I hope to be right, but I'm here every night. I'm here for you guys. I'm not hiding, I'm not running. If I give you an idea, it comes from experience, and I stand behind it, and if I say something, I'll sign my name in blood. And if I'm wrong, I will apologize with tears and blood. And then other people just, oh, this is crazy. You should just this. She's taking advantage of you. And they make you crazy.
They're not there to pick up the pieces.
And they're not there to pick up the pieces. You never listen to anybody for their advice if they don't take responsibility for the results. Bad advice, every TP parent on the chat, I don't really look at the chats, but when I go, someone has a problem, everyone is there to give CHIZUK and ideas. But when someone has a question, what do you see on the chat? Ask Avi. That's my job. How to get the limo, how to get okay, we have a lot of experience, but nobody should say on somebody, what if they find out, oops, I told you to put your foot down, and yeah, you don't have to, whatever, and then chas v'shalom, she ends up in the psych ward. What is she going to say to you? Oops. Beli ayin hara, look at our track record. Hardly anybody. Hardly, like 99% will never end up in a psych ward. That's my job. A TP parent should give advice. I'm shocked. A TP parent should give bad advice? Here, listen, I'm not going to argue. Nobody should give anybody advice. But if you give advice, you should give good advice. You shouldn't give bad advice that doesn't work. Whoever this is, can open up her own crisis center. And if she has more success, I will go to her and listen. I'm happy to learn new stuff. But if she's a TP parent to learn from me, then this doesn't make any sense. So you tell her that we are stripping her of her status, and she should come to a... and it didn't even work anyway. So now, I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass you. But why are you listening to her? Why don't you listen to me? I'm here for you 24/7. We've spoken at 1 o'clock in the morning. We've spoken at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm here for you 24/7. Why do you grab something that somebody else who's not... You were stop schmoozing, and she gave you bad advice, and it didn't work. And now who has to pick up the pieces? Me. Right away you saw it's not going to work. Right. So guys, we have to be tighter as a group. Don't give advice to anybody. Give CHIZUK. Don't tell what to do. And if somebody gives bad advice, you should tell her she should come in for a new training. And I'll tell you one last thing. I think it was the Chassam Sofer. Somebody said a vart, and he said it in his own name. And then he apologized to Chassam Sofer, right? He said, it's really your vart. So the Chassam Sofer said, I have no problem if you say my vart in your name. Just don't say your vart in my name. If she wants to give advice in her name, whatever. You want to take it, take it. Just don't call it TP. Especially when it's the exact opposite of the whole mindset of what we're trying to accomplish.